If I didn't kill the basketball player, I almost killed John Legend. ¿Qué tal, mi gente? Welcome to the channel. My name's Camila if you're new here. Today I want to do a get ready with me, a very simple, natural look since it's summer. My hair just finished drying, so it's in its natural state. But what I really want to do is share with you guys 5 different crazy stories that I experienced while working in the entertainment industry. So the first one, let's start putting some primer. The first one is probably the best one that's happened to me. I was working this award show, and I was working crew. I don't know if I've ever said this before, but I've worked in different roles in the entertainment industry, but this one with the award show, I was working as a teleprompter operator. And if you don't know what a teleprompter is, it's basically when, for example, at an award show, they're presenting something and they don't remember their lines, so they have to read like a whole segment of what they're gonna present and who wins and all that jazz. I met a couple of like celebrities and stuff, but I think the best person that I met, and I didn't think like he was gonna talk to me, but it was Nick Offerman from Parks and Recs. He is so funny. He is the best. He actually came up to me and was like, "Oh, what's your name?" And I said, "Oh, my name's Camila." And he made sure, he was like, "Oh, is it Camilla or Camila?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's Camila." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, nice to meet you, Camila." And I was like, "Oh my God, that was so nice, you know, because I was gonna work with him." I'm glad that he came up to me and like, you know, introduced himself. And after the whole award show was done, we had to like wrap up basically. And you know, wrap up means like get all the equipment, close it up, clean everything, and get it all packed up, ready to go. And he actually like came up to me and had like a shot of whiskey and was like, "Hey, let's cheers for a good job. You did such an amazing job. Here you go." And I was just like, okay, technically I am kind of done with my job, so I could get drunk with you. So we ended up like just drinking and having a good time and talking, and it was probably the best wrap I've ever had. So basically he got paid to drink with Nick Offerman, and it was whiskey. I don't know if you guys have seen his YouTube video, but it's him just literally like sitting down and just drinking whiskey like the entire video. So I felt like I was just like, this is awesome. I'm drinking whiskey with Nick Offerman. I'm gonna be wearing the L'Oreal 24 Fresh Wear Infallible Foundation. It has some sunscreen, and it is the 470. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. So I don't put a lot. I put very little because, like I said, this is gonna be just like a regular, simple makeup look. So basically, like nothing. Okay, so the second story. This one's kind of crazy. I had just moved to LA at the time, and I didn't know like anybody in LA. So I had to Google and figure out like how to make money basically, because LA is one of the most expensive cities in the world. Okay, so you need like 3 jobs to be able to survive here. Especially when you first moved here with like no connections, no family members, no friends, no nothing, you know? So one of the things that I did was go on Facebook and add myself to different groups. Basically, they were like, "Oh, I need a PA, I need a production assistant, I need a day player, I need someone to help on set, I need an assistant," all that jazz. So in one of them, I believe, they needed a production assistant for this 2-day music video. And I was working on one of them, and it was all the way in the Mirage, which is like 2 hours away from LA. It's a desert, and it has like a dry lake bed, which you think it's a lake, but it's not a lake. It's like a mirage, like from far away, which was pretty cool. And I think a lot of productions film there. Like they do a lot of music videos there, and commercials too. I think a lot of car commercials, they do that there. It was so hot outside, I'm telling you. It was like the desert, and it was like the middle of like August, so it was pretty hot. I had to help a wardrobe organize the pop singer's clothes. It was not my job, but I was helping out regardless because it was a non-union production, which that means is more like low budget. The wardrobe lady decides, I don't know why she decides to do this, but she decides to steam the dress that this pop singer is gonna wear. And she decides to do it right next to me. And I don't know if she was like, I don't want to call her stupid, but she was like not there, you know? And she wasn't looking, and out of nowhere, she freaking burns me. Boom! Right here. Like, oh my God, it's terrible. And here is where I had my motorcycle accident. I got into a motorcycle accident when I was in high school. It sucked because it was right before prom, so I had to go to prom with my little like wrap right here. It was terrible. Thank God I was okay, you know, but it was like pretty crappy that I went to my prom with that whole thing in my arm. You know that I already have like a big scar right here in my arm, and she burns me in the same spot. Oh my God. I wanted to die. I was literally like almost in the verge of crying. And since I was like basically new to the LA entertainment industry, I literally was like, oh my God, what do I do? Like, do I go to urgent care? Do I say something? Like, she literally just hurt me. And like the producer was like, oh, are you okay? Do you want to go to like CVS or something? Which now that I know all the rules, they should have taken me to urgent care and been like, are you okay? Because we can get sued if you get hurt. But at that moment, I was just like, I need to get paid. I need to pay rent. I just moved to LA. I don't know anybody, you know? And so in a way, I guess they took a little bit of advantage of me because they let me keep working there while I was hurt. Yeah, and you know what? They also didn't pay me until like 2 months later. It was pretty bad experience. I think that's probably why I don't do, well, I mean, I don't want to do music videos anymore. That's not like my career or what I want to do. But that's probably one of the main reasons why I don't recommend people working for music videos, because they're usually like low budget, non-union stuff, and some of them can take advantage of you, you know? Now that I just remembered, this would be the third story. I worked for that same production company and I did a rock band music video. I was doing like everything, like not just a production assistant, but I was literally like doing everything because they didn't have like enough people. So one of the things that I had to do was like literally get snacks and food for everyone. And in the entertainment business, we call that crafty. Like that's what we say, like that's a specific position, you're crafty. So I was basically doing crafty, right? I had to go to the grocery store and buy all this stuff, and I didn't know that I was gonna do that. So I didn't really like make a list, and the producer didn't really tell me like, oh yeah, can you get this? Can you get that? So it was basically me blindly think like, okay, what would people like? Getting different things. And I was really freaking busy because not only I had to do that, but I had to do my own job, right? And I was also doing runs. I was also doing office PA work. I was doing a lot for this like music video. And you know what's so crappy? And this is the only time that this has ever happened to me, but I was like carrying these cases of like Coke and Sprite and water. I was like carrying them like from my car to the production, and the director of photography, the DP, goes up to me and he goes, "Get Diet Coke next time." I was just like, what? I have never been so disrespected in my entire life. Like, you see this 5'2" little tiny lady that is sweating, busting her ass to get all of this done for this stupid music video, and you have the decency to go up to me and say, "Get Diet Coke next time"? Like, it wasn't even my job to begin with. Like, I was trying really hard. Freaking asshole. After that, I never worked for that production company ever again because I was just like, that was so freaking rude. Fourth story, right? Yeah, the fourth story was when I was working for the Lakers, and When I was working for the Lakers, I had different positions, but one of them was assistant camera, basically, and it was in the court side. So I was basically in the court, and I was helping the camera guy to film this timeout situation. Like when you go to a basketball game and during the timeout, you obviously don't get commercials, you know, you get like dancers or, you know, those like hype people that like throw shirts and stuff, or it's some like magician or some kind of like gymnast doing some crazy stuff. Yeah, so we had to film that for the video board. And I remember like I had to get like a whole bunch of cables for the camera guy to get into the middle and we can film like these girls dancing. And I was scared because at that moment when I moved, like these basketball players, I always get scared when I do that job sometimes because these basketball players are so tall, they're huge, and I'm like 5'2", I'm tiny. So when they're like practicing and stuff and when they're talking, like I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God, don't kill me. But at the same time, if I trip you, I get fired, you know? I get completely fired. So I was trying to avoid the basketball players so that I don't like trip them, because if they trip, you know, I could injure them and then like their career is over, or I don't know. Major anxiety, major anxiety. So I was just trying to go around instead of through the court. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but instead of through the court, I was trying to go around to get to the middle so I can film these people that were about to come out and dance. And so as I'm like trying to like get away the cable from the basketball players, I start putting it more closer to the people that are sitting down in the court side, right? And John Legend and his wife were right behind me, and I put the cable there and John Legend almost trips. I'm like, oh my God, if I didn't kill the basketball player, I almost killed John Legend. Like literally, he was like, oh, excuse me. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like those were the only words that me and him like ever exchanged. His wife didn't even look at me or anything. She was just like there. But I thought that was so funny. I was here like major anxiety to not kill any of the basketball players, but I almost killed John Legend. And that was hilarious. The fifth story that I have, and I'm almost done with my look, all I have to do is mascara, is the time that my first time ever working at the Universal Studio lot. I was so excited. You have no idea, guys. This was like a dream come true for me. Like I was so happy. I was working as a PA at the time, and we were on lunch break, and I was just talking to the other production assistants there, and one of them had the golf cart. And if you ever have seen like behind the scenes and of movies, or maybe in some movies they show like, you know, all these like great people that work in the movie business go in their little golf carts from stage to stage. So I was just like, oh my God, can I hop in the golf cart? And he's like, yeah, of course. So we hop in the golf cart. This is during like my lunch break, and we go to different like stages, and we're seeing like all the different productions and stuff, all the different sets, and it's so much fun. I'm having such a great time. And then he comes out and he's like, look, I'm gonna go behind that stage and I'm gonna smoke some ganja. He's like, do you want to smoke too? And I was just like, okay. So I ended up getting freaking blasted behind the stage at Universal Studio. Oh my God, it was the best. It's kind of funny saying it now, but at the same time I felt like a rebel. Like I felt like I was just like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Even though in LA obviously it's legal, and you know there's so many people in the movie business that like smoke weed, but I just thought it was so funny that this guy was like, hey, yeah, I'm just gonna go smoke weed for my break. And then after that, like, then I started noticing like other people that are in the crew, sometimes they take breaks, like smoke breaks, but like these smoke breaks are not just cigarettes, you know what I mean? Which was so funny to me. Oh my god. That was the first time and only time that I've ever done that. Should I do another video rating all the celebrities I've ever worked with? I mean, would that be funny? And there you go. Finish. Easy, everyday look. That's it. Nothing out of the ordinary. Pretty simple. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe down below and give it a thumbs up and comment below if you actually like these kind of videos, these story time videos. I'll be sure to make some more if you guys like them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye. Like, I have such short-term memory, so I'm like, what was I gonna tell you guys again?